What's up, Overcome Army? It is Monday. It is that first day of the week. It's time to kick things off. It's time to bust out that compass. It's time to make sure we are on course. And that is what it's about in this life. It is about that goal setting. It is about that destination. And guess what? Life is hard, man. The plight of being a human being is hard. We get punched in the face with struggle. We get off course. We have all kinds of fires that come along. We're not just dealing with ourselves. We're dealing with our family members. We're dealing with our friends. We're dealing with what's going on in the world. And that, of course, causes us to get distracted. It causes us to get off course. It causes us to get discouraged, man. There's negativity, there's problems, and it is up to us to drive through them, to overcome them. That's what we're about, man, the Overcome Army. It is about continuing to grind through and move that needle in our lives. That's what my group, the Overcome Army, is all about. My fellow Overcome Army members that are out there. For those of you just tune into Monday Muster, if you are looking for more accountability, if you're looking for more motivation, join the Overcome Army. Check us out, overcomearmy.com. But this is what we're about, guys. And I want to tell you on this Monday. So we are almost to the end of the second quarter of the year. So we're almost to the end of June. And those of you that follow me and watch what I teach know that I try and break things down into quarterly segments. That we set our goals. Always what I'm trying to preach is one physical goal, one personal goal, and one professional goal. And by doing those things, we don't get so overwhelmed. We don't look, 5 years down the road where we want to be, although it's important for us to know that is our destination, that is our long-term goal. But we look at the shorter term. We break them into quarters, and then daily we make sure that we're moving the needle every day. We're following the rule of 3 Ps, one personal, one professional, one physical. And we're moving that needle, and we feel good about ourselves because we are productive and we're creating progress, and that equals success. And that's what it's about. So we are at the end of the second quarter, and we are getting ready to move into the third quarter. What does that mean? That means new goals, man. That means we got to evaluate. We got to take a look at how we did this last quarter and take a look at our goals. Did we accomplish them? I'll be perfectly honest. For me in our business, I set our goals too big. A lot of you guys know that follow me. I've been struggling with some health issues, and I underestimated the impact of those health issues. And for this quarter, I was way behind in my professional goals, and I hate that, man. It bothered me. But it is what it is. Guess what? New quarter, new goals. We're going to reevaluate. I'm gonna set them a little more realistic now that I'm healing and getting better. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to accomplish those goals. The goals we set for ourselves, they've got to be realistic. They've got to be achievable. So many people set such big goals and you can't achieve them. Or we set unrealistic goals like I did this last quarter, where I didn't take into account everything that's going on in the world. Perhaps you've got big movements happening within your family. COVID was a major impact. So all these things have an impact on us and our business, on our life, maybe on our physical selves. And that's why it's so critical as we set the goals for the next quarter to make sure they are good, realistic, achievable goals. And then that they're measurable, guys. We got to be able to measure them. So as you're thinking about your goals for the next quarter, as we're rolling into the third quarter of 2021, I was inspired yesterday for this Monday Muster because I had an individual reach out to me. They sent me a beautifully written email, and it was all about how they were coming to grips to understand who they truly were. And becoming the best version of themselves. And for those of you who follow me know that I talk about, I want to help people become the best version of you. And so often I meet people as I coach them and work with them who are not, I don't think they've come to grips with what the best version of them truly is. And oftentimes we live in this comparison world. We see other people, we see other influencers, we see other leaders and individuals that we look up to, and we compare ourselves to them, and we say, well, man, I am not that person, or I don't have the ability to do that or do this, or we say that's exactly what I want to be like, but maybe our values and even our personality don't totally align with that. And this is where I think it's truly critical to understand who we really are. For years, there have been parts of my personality that, I didn't care for. We have strengths and we have weaknesses. And parts of my personality, oftentimes I can get angry quick. When I was younger, I used to make rash decisions. I've talked to many of you about I have weak emotional leadership at times, and I really had to work on that to be better. Um, those were things that I could do to strengthen my weaknesses. But there's other parts of my personality that um, I like to call myself a reluctant warrior. So I have friends and I know people who love to fight, man. They love conflict. And whether it's verbal battles or whether it is physical battles, and obviously that is a great trait for a warrior to enjoy getting into the fight. And fighting for me, I'll do it, and I've done it. Obviously, I've been in combat, I've served, and no one can ever say that I ever backed down in the fights that we went to. But that's not my natural personality. I am not naturally one who longs for conflict. I am about conflict if it is a necessary part of what I am doing. If I need to fight for something I believe in, and there's a time when that is important. But the reason I tell you this is if you don't understand who you truly are, if you don't understand your personality, understanding, are you totally an introverted person? Are you an extroverted person? Are you a creative person? Are you an analytical person? And then on top of that, what are your values? This is one of the biggest things that I teach in my coaching programs, because if your goals and where you want to go aren't in alignment with your true value, guys, true values, because this is the thing. This is where I meet so many people who they say their values are this, but the reality is they're telling you this, which isn't aligned with what's going on around the world, or it's the popular thing. Hey, this is what I want to do because it's popular. It's because what their role model is saying, even though they may not totally agree with it. And you have to understand what your true values are. You have to understand who you truly are. Once you can do that, guys, once you can understand who you truly are, what your true values are, it's at that point that you can define your mission. It's at that point you can say, this is who I truly want to be. This is my long-term destination. These are my long-term goals. These are my short-term goals. And this is when you truly become the best version of you. The individual who's no longer fighting against our own internal weaknesses or flaws. Instead, we're embracing them. We're embracing them, and it's becoming who we really were meant to be. And everything falls into alignment when we do that. It doesn't mean that life's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that there's some sort of easy switch that gets clicked and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I totally embraced my analytical side or creative side or my conflict side or whatever it is, and it's in alignment with my values. It doesn't mean that. But it does mean that you are not fighting against yourself. And I think that's so critical. So guys, you're going to be a better leader if you embrace the strengths and the values and the parts of your personality that make you who you are. And that is what we're about on this Monday Muster. If you've never done it, guys, I just encourage you. I mean, when you coach with me, one of the first things we do is I want to understand who you are. I want to understand what your values are. We do some exercises so we really drill down into what your real values are, because only then can we start to become the best version of you. And that is what this is about. That is what I'm trying to help others do, to be the best leader, to be the best father, mother, employer, entrepreneur, the best physical version of yourself. But it's the best physical version of you, not someone else, not someone you watch on social media, not Jason Redman, not, whoever, not some celebrity or whoever you follow. It's not the best version of them. You're not trying to become the best version of them. You're trying to become the best version of you. So guys, on this Monday muster, as we're rolling into the third quarter here in a couple of weeks, I want you to think about that. I want you to start thinking about who you truly are. What are your strengths? What are the weaknesses you have that they're just part of who you are? And we want to reduce those weaknesses. We want to increase those strengths, but most importantly, we want to embrace who we truly are. And we want to use those things to be in alignment with our destination and our course. So, guys, that is what's up on this Monday muster. I want to encourage you to become the best version of you. That individual that wrote me that email, thank you for being honest and just, pouring it out there and saying, this is who I am and this is who I am embracing to be the best version of myself. Man, it was a motivating and inspiring email, and it fired me up, man, and it made me really come to appreciate that the gift of trying to help others become the best version of you. So that's what this is about. I want you to think about that as we roll into the third quarter. I want you to think about that as you set these goals, those third quarter goals. If you never sat down, if you've never said, this is who I am, these are my values, my true, honest, the things that just resonate with me. These are the things that fire me up. These are the things that I have conviction behind. Until you understand those things, you will have a hard time becoming the best version of you. And that's what I want for you, to become the best version of you. All right, guys. So, hey, if you've never followed me before, or if you've never watched one of my videos, check me out, jasonredman.com. Check out the Overcome Army, overcomearmy.com. And if you're looking for individual coaching, you can find it on my page, and I will help you to become the best version of you. As for the rest of you, Overcome Army, it is about that. It is about the goal setting. It is about staying on course. It is about following the rule of 3 Ps. And it is Monday, so it is time to bust out that compass. It is about getting back on course. It is about overcoming, because those life ambushes are coming. By being in alignment with all these things, we are better prepared to overcome them. So that's what's up. Get out there, crush this week, crush the end of this quarter, crush those goals, and be ready for those life ambushes when they come. All right, much love, everybody. I'm out.